Hi, welcome to Thysse. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Dean Bott. I'll be happy to show you around. Please come on in. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the organization first. So we are a commercial printer, plus a whole lot more. And as we go through the tour today, I'll be able to explain a little bit about those additional services. I want you to know that we're very proud of this building, and I'd like to point out a few things about it.
And one of those services I just mentioned, facility branding. Our facilities branding team does incredible work to elevate brand expression in physical spaces. As you can see, some of the window treatments, the glass treatments, and wall and ceiling treatments were all developed by this team in collaboration with our owner and architect to create this really great space. The facilities branding team here is world class. Their growing body of work is exceptional and exciting to see it as it goes through production and on to the finished installed results. The scope of work they do spans entire building and campus projects down to the smaller spaces within them, like conference rooms, lobbies, even elevators and wayfinding solutions. A real advantage that complements their talent is the fact that they're embedded here within the manufacturing facility. It enables them to collaborate directly with the teams that actually produce and install the features they create, which gives them and our clients much more control over the entire process, from budget and schedule to finished quality. It's proven to be a really great combination in the markets we serve.
This combined space houses our ad specialties division, our marketing department, our business development department, and our procurement department. Ad specialties is a cool thing that we provide promotional products, mostly branded, for our clients. The business development team speaks for itself. They're the ones that provide you with solutions and options. Our procurement team ensures that we have all the resources that we need to produce your projects effectively. And the marketing team tells these great stories about who we are and who our clients are. Our number one asset here at Thysse is clearly our people. And we've done everything we can within this building to create a really great working space for them. We're in the break room right now, and the idea here is to create a space, a comfortable, collaborative space where people can get away from their work for a while and enjoy their time for whatever break they need to take. A little shout out here again to both our owner and the facilities branding team, because all the design and installation was done here. We've got some great wallpaper feature here and the kiosks that provide additional information, not only about our company, but about the community. Gives people a great place to be able to relax and enjoy for a while. It also creates a really great open meeting space. So whenever we want to get the whole team together, this is a really comfortable place to bring them together. In the summertime, we're able to open up the walls and spill out onto the patio and enjoy both the internal and outside spaces. This collaborative space is a convergence of really great, amazing talent and technology put together. Well, these are the people that put all the pieces together to ensure that your job runs effectively in production. It's a combination of our account managers who you work with every day, our project managers who own your project throughout the process, our estimating team who develops the workflow, the work plan, and the pricing for your projects. It also includes our pre-flight and our planning teams, as well as our mail services and variable data teams. Okay, let's head on out to production. We're going to talk about the three ways in which we put ink on substrates here at Thysse. We use dry powder toner, which we refer to as digital. We use inkjet technology, and we also use offset. So the convergence of these technologies works really on your behalf because it gives you the ability to not have to worry about where a project is produced. That's our responsibility. We manage that through our deep understanding and use of color science in the business. So being able to produce on any different type of device and ensure that your brand is held true to its standards regardless is a real advantage of having these technologies all in one place. We're going to start with dry powder toner. Toner technology has been around for a long time. Essentially, it is color copier on steroids. But the beauty of this equipment today is that it can take a blank, plain sheet and in one pass create a full completed printed book, stitched and trimmed, ready to go out to your customer. Traditionally, this technology was used for shorter runs, but as the technologies continued to advance, the manufacturers of the toner equipment decided that they wanted a bigger piece of the market share. So now their equipment is also very valuable on longer runs as well. The beauty of it is it's variable data. The device doesn't care what the difference is between sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. It's the same process up front to deliver a variable data piece at the finished end. We can print up to a 13 by 28 sheet on these devices, and as I mentioned, bring them out completely finished at the end of the trip. Next, we'll talk about our inkjet technology, starting with our envelope press. It's a high-speed inkjet printing press that prints on finished envelopes, full 4-color and full variable. Again, it's the start of what we're going to talk more about in inkjet, but it's literally head spraying colored ink down on the finished substrate. It'll run 30,000 envelopes an hour. It doesn't care if the file is different or the same. A great place to do addressing and variable data on an envelope. In the case when more sophistication is required on your envelope, that work is done in an offset environment on a flat sheet and then converted to envelopes at a later time. While we're on the subject of inkjet, I'd like to introduce you to our HP 2200 roll-to-roll inkjet printer. Really great technology, very innovative and important to our business as well as to our customers. The HP is very interesting because of the way it's manufactured. Typically an inkjet technology like this, when the technology changes as it does very rapidly, it requires what we call a forklift upgrade, which means you got to pull the piece of equipment out, get rid of it, bring a new one in. These guys took a much different approach. They built a solid foundation that allows us to add and improve the technology that's available to us on the fly with the same primary engine that we have here today. Essentially plug and play new pieces, new components, new technology, maximizing the value of the investment. This is a roll-fed device. It prints 4-color, 2 sides in one pass. So the technology allows the roll to go through, chill, come back through, turn, go through the inkjet heads and print the other side at the same time. The beauty of that is ensures consistency and registration across the finished piece. Variable data is an important part of the capabilities on this device. Also, color management and color science are as well, because remember, where you go with your brand is important to us, supported by the color science we impart in every aspect of our process. Included in this device is a full inspection station, which allows us to be able to read the roll as it passes through at full speed and capture all the data that we need to have about the color accuracy of the piece, the variable data accuracy, the registration, and the overall print quality while it's full time, full running speed with no slowdown to the progress. This press is also equipped with full coating capabilities, meaning that any additional finishes that you want to put on your sheet, we're able to do right here on the fly during full run speed. It's aqueous based, so it's environmentally friendly, gives you the look and feel that you need on your finished piece. The third printing technology that we want to talk about is offset. We're featuring our latest and greatest innovations from Heidelberg in our 26 by 40 inch 6-color with coder press. This press does some amazing things. One, It prints 18,000 sheets an hour. From a blank sheet to a finished piece, 18,000 of an hour. In the olden days, we used to have to take time and shut the press down to transfer from one job to another. That process was anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes, depending on the complexity of the job. The innovation that this press offers uses what we call push-to-stop technology, which means the press is going to continue to run. It's going to automatically change from one job to the next without any operator intervention and alert the operator when it's ready for his inspection. It's a really great blending of technology and craftsmanship, which is so important to every aspect of our business. Again, color science, incredibly important to what we do here at this press. It doesn't matter which technology we use for your job. The color science behind where you go with your brand allows us to provide faithful reproduction of all your needs, regardless of the device or the technology. That's a real advantage to you. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to think about it. That's part of what we do on your behalf. There's some additional features and technology incorporated in this press that are incredibly important. First is it utilizes LED UV drying inks. So those add a sustainability factor. Back in the day, it used to take a ton of energy to put heat on that sheet to dry it, to ensure that that ink secured to the substrate in a good amount of time and was secure when it went through the rest of the process. Today, the LED UV ink drying happens faster with much less energy and provides a safe and secure press sheet as soon as it comes off the device. The other piece of technology that's really cool is built-in spectrophotometry. What? Spectrophotometry is densitometry but reading colors. There's a device built into the press that allows us to read and record the color accuracy of essentially every sheet that goes through. It's a really great tool when it comes to that push-to-stop technology. The press reads the press sheet and tells the operator when it's up to the specifications and standards that we've set for that particular job or that particular project. Lets the operator know. He can then put his craftsmanship and inspection to work at this final step and verify that the machine's doing what we expect it to do. Before we head into the bindery, let's do a quick recap of the technologies that we've covered so far. We started with dry powder toner. Great color accuracy, predictability, variable data, typically used in a short run environment, but not exclusively. Second, we covered inkjet technology. Again, variable data, high speed, 300 to 800 feet per minute on that press, and with coating capabilities as well, roll to roll. Then we wrapped up today in the offset environment. Sheet fed press, 26 by 40 capability, 6 color plus coder, static, no variable data. Now that we've wrapped up the discussions about all of our printing technology, it's time to talk about our bindery. One of my favorite parts of the operation for many reasons, but just the concept of bindery, taking all those unique and individual parts and bringing them together into the finished piece is kind of where this happens. It's a press sheet with ink and toner on it over here. We get over here and now we really start to bring it to life. We're going to start with cutting. So our cutting technology is pretty cool. We are able to actually set the program for our cutter at the very beginning of the process, way back in pre-press, when we're first setting up the job before it even comes to press, and building the programs to ensure the accuracy and efficiency of this particular device. This device, again, is latest and greatest technology. Back in the day, cutting used to be this heavy lifting, throwing a lot of heavy paper around, shoving it around, cutting it up, stacking it. Today, this machine is designed to assist the operator with all of those functions, both making it more efficient and accurate for them, but easier on them, and it improves the quality and the efficiency of the finished product. Die cutting has become and continues to be an increasingly important part of our business, growing all the time. With die cutting, it must start with the dies. There's a few different ways to think about dies in the die cutting process. The first one is when we're doing more static pieces, lots of the exact same type, same thing. We do those with a configured die that's set to cut all one at the same time. We also have the ability to use configurable dies, which allows us to be able to set a press sheet that's very unique and specific to your needs with multiple SKUs on it, and set up a die on the fly for that specific job. We use two primary technologies for die cutting here at Thysse. Another example of providing multiple options for our customers under the same roof. We're going to start by discussing the Comma, what we refer to as a half-size die cutter, which means it works on a 23 by 29 sheet. This device is really great because it allows us to manage much smaller runs with a lot of unique attributes to those specific runs. So a lot more customized die cutting happens over here. It also gives us the ability to further enhance that finished press sheet with foil stamping, embossing, and debossing. It also manages variable data die cutting pieces in the way that it delivers the finished piece to be able to keep it sorted and organized for the next step in the process. Next, we're going to talk about our industrial version of die cutting. This die cutter allows us to run the full-size press sheet, 28 by 40, and provide finished goods at the tail end of it. The beauty of this device is it's designed for producing mass quantities of essentially the same thing over and over again, which creates a great economy of scale for the process. Our bindery is divided into two very specific sections. One is for roll fed and the other one is for sheet fed. We're going to start by talking about the roll fed bindery. Remember when we talked about the HP inkjet press, prints roll to roll, some way we need to get that finished goods from the roll into the bindery line. That's what these devices do. There's two primary devices. One of them essentially cuts and stacks. It's great for postcards and other single sheet items, and it has the ability to read and record what's been printed and stack it accordingly in a very unique fashion. The other device takes it from a roll, again, all the way through both cutting, stacking, and folding, and getting it ready for the next phase of the bindery, which is typically stitching. The next phase of our sheet fed bindery requires a lot of very sophisticated and complex machinery and an equal level of operator skills and expertise to bring that printed piece to fruition. This is where the folding, the stitching, and the assembly happens. And it's very precision work. The equipment is a big part of it, but not without highly skilled operators ensuring that it's working to meet your exacting standards. So we've talked about folding. Now we're going to talk about folding and gluing, another very important part of our operation. I really like this device because of what it can and what it does. It essentially takes a flat sheet, folds it over multiple times, applies lines of glue, folds those pieces together, and off comes a finished piece. Whether that finished piece is a pocket folder, which we're running right now, or a package for consumer product goods, either way, it doesn't matter. This device will take it from flat sheet to finished good in a short amount of time. Another important piece of bringing your product to the finished stages is our stitching capability. This stitcher is unique in the fact that it serves both our roll fed and our sheet fed bindery. Doesn't matter where the sheets come from, the signatures, we can assemble them into a finished book here. There's some additional capabilities here that are rather unique to the industry. This device has variable data reading cameras. So we've talked about the ability to print and manage variable data throughout this tour, and this is where it all comes together. So if your cover is unique to a specific individual or group, this device can read it, recognize it, and ensure that that cover gets assembled onto the proper body of the piece. Some say that it takes a magician to make this thing work. Not quite, but it really takes a skilled craftsman that not only understands the device, but understands what it takes to put a high quality finished printed piece together. Really comes together here. Now that your piece is finished, trimmed, stitched, folded, die cut, or whatever, we're going to move on to the next phase. A significant number of pieces that come through our plant end up in the USPS's hands for mailing. The area we're in right now is what we call inserting. This is a very important, sophisticated part of the process to ensure that all components of your mailing end up in the exact same envelope. It'd be very unfortunate if they didn't. So these devices are equipped with special camera reading equipment to ensure that each piece matches exactly as it comes together. There's a camera system that reads up to 5 independent individual inserts into each letter. Now, there's a variety of different kinds of mailings, from inserted envelopes to postcards to catalogs to calendars to brochures, flats, and on and on. All of that happens right here in this area, and this is where we ensure that it's sorted, organized, and distributed to the post office in a way that brings the best value to you with your USPS spend. Not everything we produce here ends up in the mail. Many of the pieces end up in our fulfillment division for later postponed deliveries or in the hands of our highly skilled shipping and delivery professionals. Our fulfillment division is loaded with client-owned inventory, things that we produce for them and manufactured using the economy of scale and house for them for future delivery and distribution.
We support this through our custom-built brand portals, which allows our clients and their users unique and easy access to all the items we manufacture for them. Our in-house development team helps tailor these environments to the unique needs of each client. From custom reporting and notification features to white label environments that users or members use, this team creates some really unique solutions that eliminate significant pain points for our clients and add a lot of value to their print speed.
And it also supports a print-on-demand environment, which means it can be very small quantities, small pieces, produced just in time for inventory. Regardless, they all come together through those brand portals into our shipping department for final validation and inspection and delivery to the end source. So we are a printing company, and we do produce a lot of finished printed material that requires paper and different substrates, but we really care about sustainability. A couple cool things is what's happening in the lumber and paper industry. There's no more old forest logging to create paper. That's really a sustainable crop, just like corn or anything else that we grow here in the Midwest. It's just a 10-year cycle instead of a 6-month cycle. In addition to that, I hope you recognized and saw the solar array on top of our building when you came in today. It's a really important part of our business. On a bright and sunny day, 100% of what you've seen in this facility is run completely from those solar arrays. On a cloudy day, maybe not quite so sunny, at least 60 to 70% of our energy still comes from those solar arrays. On weekends, on those really great sunny weekends when we're not here, that energy is going right back into the system where it belongs. We don't store it here, we sell it back to the system for more people to take advantage of. In addition, another sustainability item that we've uncovered here is our ability to custom make boxes. The pack size device has allowed us to do that very effectively. It used to be that we would buy hundreds and hundreds of 8.5 by 11 8 boxes, and we'd fill them with 2 or 3 inches worth of finished goods and stuff it with paper and tape them shut. Not only was that not good for the security of the items in the box, but it was a giant waste of corrugated. The pack size allows us to custom make every box that leaves here to the specified size needed for exactly what we're shipping. So again, we're ensuring the reliability of what's in that package, and it's allowed us to reduce our corrugated consumption by well over 60%. Many of the pieces we produce here exceed the size, dimensional capabilities of the printing equipment that we've already looked at and talked about today. So we're going to talk a little bit more about inkjet. So the wide format inkjet capability affords us the ability to print on a wide variety of substrates, up to 6 foot by 12 foot wide, 12 foot long in a board, and up rolls up to 11 foot wide. Each device behind me is a little bit different in their capabilities, but in reality, they're calibrated together through our color science and our color management capabilities to ensure that whichever device the pieces are printed on, it meets your branding standards. So the P5 is the larger of the two devices. It covers a 6-foot by 12-foot board and an 11-foot roll, or two 5-foot rolls running simultaneously, actually affording us to run two different jobs at the same time. Really great for cost effective and efficiency. The P10 is a little bit smaller, but it also has that same level of 5-foot by 10-foot board capacity and an 8-foot roll. Again, roll or board, the devices really don't care. The cool thing is the variety of substrates that we can print on these devices. So styrene, sintras, acrylics, wood, metal-coated materials, vinyls, plastics, you name it, whatever's needed in your environment, we can typically print on it. So once we're done with the P5, once we're done printing these pieces, then the next stage is like anything else we've talked about here, is the finishing component. In our finishing here, we start with the Zund cutters. The cutters are 10-foot wide by 10-foot long, again, capable of handling a sheet or a roll, and they're able to cut, route, score, or perforate literally any of those materials that we talked about. Maybe not half-inch metal, but we can still route wood and acrylics to your exacting standards. In addition to the LED UV printing that we do on the Thysse, we also have HP latex printers. So again, we're using the inkjet technology, but a different ink formulation in latex. So the latex ink is many things. It's environmentally friendly, sustainable, it's stretchable and flexible. It works really great on any kind of vinyl materials. It works exceptionally well for windows, walls, floors, vehicles, ATMs, or anything that may need some sort of a vinyl wrap around it. The ink stretches just like the material that it's printed on and allows for a nice, smooth finish. So once we print and cut here in the wide format division, it's really important to ensure a successful pack out. So pack out's a term we use to help us decide how we're going to assemble these pieces once they're finished in a way that supports protected shipping and accuracy for the wide degree of stores that we may have to send these to. Not every store is the same. So understanding exactly what each store needs and organizing it and putting it together in a protected fashion to ensure good delivery is really important. Quality and on-time delivery are built into literally everything we do here, including the building. We've covered a lot of really great things today, but I want to cover a couple things that are kind of behind the scenes that contribute to our effectiveness. First is the temperature and humidity control. It includes everything, including our loading dock. Ensuring that the raw materials that we produce on are properly acclimated are a highly valuable contributor to the success of how it's reproduced on our printing devices. Second is the lighting conditions. By now you probably realize that accurate color reproduction is really important part of what we do here. Color viewing conditions is a huge factor in that. We've incorporated 5,000 Kelvin lighting throughout the entire building. You might say, yeah, so what's that mean? A couple things. One, it's consistency. Number two, it's the recommended color temperature for viewing conditions. And in addition, it's used in almost all retail spaces across the country. We've covered a lot of technology, we've covered a lot of process, we've covered a lot of workflow today. But really, behind the scenes, the most important piece of all that is the people. The people here at Thysse are the ones that really make this all come together and work on your behalf. It's the craftsmanship and the professionalism that truly make Thysse where you go with your brand. We've got a lot of really great content available for you on Thysse.com and any popular social media channel. I would encourage you to dig deeper and learn a little bit more about us, or feel free to reach out to your account manager or your business development representative to help you explore further. Thanks for your time. I really enjoyed it. I hope you got something valuable out of the tour today.